Hi, this is Hoppi VR episode number 4. The main goal in this episode is to add audio streams to Hoppi. Then I'd also like to modify the voice so it sounds like Hoppi and then fix any bugs that I previously ran into. So in this video, like I said, I want to get the audio streams working. There's a microphone in this webcam here. I want to get the sound out of that, send it to the network. Then I'll have a headset with a microphone on, and what I want to be able to do then is talk into the microphone, in other words, respond to somebody, and then have it play out on these speakers. I want to have the voice altered to sound like the old Hoppi.
Hi, my name is Hoppi.
And if I've got time left over, what I'd like to do is just do some bug fixing. So to start, I'm going to disconnect the batteries, give them a charge, and then power Hoppi directly off a power bank. Then do some basic testing and fix any critical bugs I find. And get it, and then start writing the software for it. So one bug that I found that I'm having is when I start up the motor and I start speeding it up, at a certain point it just goes to max. And that was causing me quite a bit of problems when I was trying to steer it in the previous video. I'll just give an example of that. So if I go to motor controller, and then I set the speed to say 10, and then update, then that's fine. If I set it to, I think it goes up to 14, 15, that's 16 right now, 17. See, now what it's doing there is I've just gone to 18 and it just maxes out. And then what I have to do is bring it down 14. I have to bring it down quite a lot before it starts slowing down. Now that was happening when I was steering it, so I'd push the pedal down and as soon as I get past halfway point it would just full blast. And that's why I was having all these problems steering. Now I found what the problem was. It's a debounce value, and that fixes it completely. Then the other problem I had was when I start the motor up and then I stop it. Okay, it is fixed right now. It wasn't. It would stop, but the motor would still be going at like a very low power, and you'd hear this buzzing sound. Now I fixed that too. This is just a quick test of the pedals connecting to the motor again. This was with all the bug fixes. So when you go forward, that way it goes forward and backwards. I think I got it at so basic. There we go. So that's the max speed, and then backwards, that's the max speed. And then that's all working. So the next thing I'm going to go on to is doing the actual video, which is the voice. This is a bit of an update. I've just added a sound menu over here. That's number 3, and all it does is starts and stops the microphone. And then on Hoppi, it's the Hoppi control. I've got the same thing, just start and stop the microphone. I ran into quite a few bugs and I fixed all of those, and the sound should be working. And I will start it and give a demo. So I start that by pressing sideways, and then I start this way. So then I should get sound both ways. I will get a bit of an echo now. Let me put the headset on. Hello. So you should be able to hear me through your Hoppi. Hello? Hello? Yeah, okay, so this is working. I started working on modifying the voice to sound like Hoppi. But after a bit of investigation, I found it would be quite more difficult than I thought. I was thinking I needed a video stream, just a basic video stream, so I could see where I was driving. I found a library called Ep4 Linux 2, which allows you to, first of all, detect the video stream from the webcam and then capture it. I found out that the webcam had two video streams, one which was YUY2, which is a slightly compressed image, and another one which is motion JPEG, which is just a stream of JPEGs. I did a bit of investigation on the first one. Then I found a library which can just decompress JPEGs for me, which is libjpeg, and so I decided to use this. The plan was to then capture the video stream, send the raw data over the network, and then decompress it on the PC side and display it. You should be able to hear me now. I've got the camera stream over here. It's running at 176 by 144 and 10 frames a second. I can have it running at 320 by 240. But yesterday I put it up to 15 frames a second and I was getting a whole lot of delays, and I put it back down again and it was getting about a second latency. So now I've got it running at this speed and I'm getting like almost no latency. That's in other words, I can have more high definition, but I prefer less latency. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to drive it. I'm going to talk about a few problems I'm having. So this is very hard to control properly. So there's a few problems with the controlling method that I'm currently using. It's first of all, there's no like feedback on the pedals. You can't work out without looking at the screen how fast you're actually going, how much power you're pushing. So you don't know when you're going forward and when you're not going forward. So that's one problem. Second problem is that is a problem in itself. Then the second problem is a bit of latency in between going forward. So if I press forward now, I only start moving forward after about 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And there are ways of fixing that, so that's the second problem. Now those two problems in conjunction cause it's very hard to drive because there's a delay and it's hard to figure out where your feet are. So I want to get rid of that latency problem, but I'm also thinking of changing the design of the pedals. So I have one pedal to be power and the other pedal, which won't really be a pedal, will be like sort of a joystick, or so I have to design it, but it will give you direction. And then you'll be able to go forward, backwards, and go in a straight line much easier than this. Let me just drive around a bit. That was a basic demo of the microphone and the video feed and the bug fixes I did on the pedal. Now I'm just going to show you a few other videos I recorded. This was when I first started testing. I brought Hoppi upstairs and I had the cats in the room at the same time. I was still dealing with bugs at this point, so I was getting some problems. Anyway, here goes. This is Hoppi, which is upstairs, and this is my client. So I'm just going to start the camera, and then you see the camera feed, and there's the cats, and start the microphone. So this is the microphone going from the client PC to Hoppi, and Q over there, and 3. Now everything's connected, and you. Well, I'm talking through a microphone, so you can't see it, but I am recording now upstairs. I need to stop that. Yeah, get it again. Okay. Okay. Do you want to go outside? Yeah. Get it again. It's a pity I can't move the head. Yeah. Oh, there's the camera. Can't look at another. You want to go outside? Where's the food? Get it, get it. There's the cat. That's Manny. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.